All right. Rules: no cuss words. No cuss words, guys.
Stop saying cuss words.
Other rule: don't say things you don't know anything about. Okay? I'm just kidding. That's what everybody does. So you have to make sure to have very strong statements.
Giving us no time to prepare.
You have to say things you have no idea about and make it sound like you do, because that's how podcasts work. First, we have to show off our hats that we have. Mine says Alaska. You see that?
Wait, which hat should I use? This hat, John?
Oh, we got a Coca-Cola hat? Okay.
And with the bottle cap opener.
That's actually gnarly. I've never seen that in my life.
Dude, it's actually so tough. I'm not gonna lie.
I have a bottle cap opener, but it's on the bottom of my flip-flops.
Ooh, that's lit, actually.
You know the wreaths?
Wait, does it get in the way of walking?
What?
Like when you walk, does it affect you or not? Oh,
no, it's so small. It's so nice. They do it on like almost all their flip-flops.
Never heard about that concept in my life, but it sounds pretty interesting. Anyways, you just heard from, I don't know what you want to go by, Ben. And then we also have Swaylo 22, also known as Swaylo, also known as Sway Daddy, also known as Sway Dog, also known as Sway Man.
Not sure about the daddy part, but
all right. This is a pod. This podcast is the ultimate podcast. You've never heard a podcast better than this podcast. I'll tell you that right now. We're going to talk about everything known to mankind throughout the next indefinite amount of time. And this episode is going to be about all sorts of things. We're going to talk about our guesses for what's going to happen in the next 4 years. We're going to talk about war. We're going to talk about the economy. We're going to talk about video games. We're going to talk about NFL predictions. We're going to talk about Ben's insane gambling problems. We're going to talk about TikTok potentially disappearing. We're going to talk about how Sway's knee and all the whack problems that make. Oh, and his shoulder too, probably at some point. Yeah. The future of AI. Christmas is coming up. We're going to talk about great Christmas gifts to give to your stupid friends.
And Hanukkah. We are inclusive.
Yeah.
Ben's a Jew. Oh, I'm Jewish too, I think. Apparently. That's another story. We're going to talk about a little bit of our stories too. So get excited. Don't know how often these podcasts are going to happen, but they're going to happen. They're going to happen as often as they can happen. Also, make sure to check out the other podcast I have called The Tao of John. No idea what it's about yet, but it's coming out. So guys, sorry, non-binary participant. I'm just kidding.
Binary.
I go by.
Starting off strong.
I'm just kidding. We're not going to start with our pronouns. You know what we're going to start with, Ben? We're going to start with our
lengths.
Our lengths. 2.
I thought you were a quarter African American.
Oh, sorry. I always it just looks really weird. So I always forget to include the darker portion of it. 7.
Yikes.
All right. Well, this podcast is also designed to be friendly for all ages.
And we would love to be canceled by any age group.
Honestly, that would be the ultimate honor right there.
Cancel me.
Hey, we are here to give you good information for you to live your life in a better way and also to learn what life is all about. That's what we're here for. That's what we do. Speaking of life, and probably something that affects the majority of the people in the world, arguably, is the next 4 years of the administration. Whether or not you like him or hate him, it's happening, right? We have President-elect Donald Trump coming in January 20th, hopefully smoothly. That's what the Biden administration's been promising, right? So we're going to see some big changes to the White House and to the United States. I don't think any of us, well, some of us have probably kept up with news, what's going on, everything like that around the world in the US. There's obviously, this was a tough one for a lot of people. And also a lot of people were very excited and happy for all the new changes. You have Department of Government Efficiency. You have all these questions about foreign policy. And we might not be experts, but each of us being American citizens, we have a voice. And that voice may be sometimes uneducated, but we're gonna guess what we anticipate to happen over the next 4 years in the country and the world, because obviously America is the only country that actually matters. So
here we go.
I'm just kidding. Hoorah! Look at that.
What?
All right.
I want to start off by saying Trump is 6'3",
I know.
and his son 6'9".
You know, actually, this is funny. Do you, Jose,
Cowards.
you remember one? Nice. Secondly, do you remember that he played at our on our football field, like soccer practice? He was on the Arlington soccer team or whatever.
Oh, facts. I wasn't there watching, but
I saw him out the window. He was tall as a high schooler. You had all the black
actually
Suburbans
insane.
and Cadillacs back there, dude. He's a big guy.
imagine being 6'9", bro.
I'm good. That's a little too tall. But hey, and
Crazy.
Speaking of podcasts, I'm pretty sure it was him that motivated or encouraged his father, who's like 800 years older than him, to go on the Joe Rogan podcast. And arguably that might have been a big winner for Trump in terms of his election strategy. I haven't looked at all the specific stats, but I'm pretty sure he won a lot of young males that probably weren't going to vote otherwise. I didn't watch the whole podcast. It's like 3 hours, but
Dang, I didn't even know he went on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah, it was all over the news. But I think that what we saw is like a lot of these little things in the election, turned out not to really matter. Like the PR stuff, people were divided so much that all the little stuff kind of went away, right? Because Kamala Harris went on the Call Her Daddy podcast.
she did. I didn't know that.
She did.
I'm pretty. I'd have to double check. I'm pretty sure that Joe
That might
Rogan
have
and Joe Rogan invited her as well to his podcast, and she denied it. She didn't go on it. She had her administration had a lot more rules, whereas Trump was like, "Hey, let's see what happens." I think they had a time allocated. They went beyond it. I watched portions of it. It was interesting. And gosh, like 2,000. Joe Rogan has a lot of podcasts. I know a lot of people like him or don't like him, but that podcast was a big deal. What podcast are you talking about, Ben? Oh, I found it.
No, it's okay. I don't remember if it was you found the specific one.
Yeah, I did. It's on Spotify, whatever, Apple.
Wherever you can find your podcast.
People were giving her a lot of hate for the amount of money that her campaign spent on all these little decisions, that weren't policy things. They weren't about, talking policy or anything really. They were just about like capturing voters. And I'm not really sure if that actually helped young voters, but
Ben's the business major, by the way, and the money guy, so he can definitely, and the policy guy. We'll have to talk about I-5 someday. Oh man, we'll have a fun conversation on that. But Ben, the real question everyone's really wondering is
what is going on with this guy?
So, Ben, you know quite a little bit more than I do, at least, about the economy.
Oh.
And I mean, we've seen Bidenomics, right? And now we're going to see, I don't think Trump calls it Trumponomics. I don't think he should call it Trumponomics, but from what we've heard so far, what do you think of the future for the United States and the world's economy under DJT?
Yeah. I mean, first of all, like, I wish we could say we saw, stuff from Trump's presidency, but, sustaining an economy is very different than recovering an economy. So I think the approach is going to be a lot different this time. We're seeing a lot of things. Obviously, tariffs that he's proposing.
25%.
25%. Then we're also seeing some changes from the SEC, right? So kicking Gensler, the current director of the SEC, out.
Wait, like football?
Yep, John.
Hey, Oklahoma is playing Navy, by the way, in the Armed Forces Bowl.
Yeah, the Securities Exchange Commission is gonna have a change in leadership, and I think that's really big. A lot of people are kind of divided on that because they're gonna, take a lot of the regulations away from crypto, which we've seen a massive spike, especially in Bitcoin recently, which is the one crypto that is, not really subject to a lot of those rules because it's decentralized. So a lot of those other cryptos also bumped up, but that's what you get when you work with a guy like Elon Musk, who's got a lot in Bitcoin. You have a lot of these people you want to please, but I think there's a lot of room for crypto to grow during the Trump term, especially internationally, with using that commerce. Because if you don't regulate it, is that possibly a way to get around those tariffs?
Oh,
Who
never thought about that. What I will say is I have like 570 Dogecoin. My Bitcoin has doubled since I purchased it. I only had a little bit in it. I use Robinhood and Coinbase for crypto, by the way. Shout out Robinhood, Coinbase. I think they're both solid. You don't really need any other ones, in my opinion. But I think I also have, I don't know if you guys have done any research on it, but have you heard of the crypto XRP? So I don't know. I don't know a whole lot. And Ben, you're going to have to be my money guy here because you know me. I just go to the casinos all the time, waste it there. Wait, actually, are we going to talk about our gambling problems in this podcast or no? We probably shouldn't. Anyways, XRP, from what I know, it's aimed at financial institutions, payment providers, and they speed up transactions and they make them cheaper. I think it's by the company Ripple. I have no idea. I know they're facing probably legal challenges. Do you think, Ben Jammin, do you think that Trump is gonna, especially with the SEC stuff, do you think XRP is gonna see some benefits?
Yeah, so I'm not too familiar with XRP specifically, so I don't really know. Oh,
sorry, that was my impulsive thoughts.
But I guess kind of like John's thoughts, we're gonna probably see a bunch of people get into it, get out. So I'm expecting probably high volatility there. But I think overall in crypto, the thing to look at is who's controlling this stuff, right? You can make crypto, anybody can own a ton and you don't really know who owns it. And that leaves crypto to a lot of manipulation, right? So you can have a chip, and there was a case where somebody made their own chip and then everybody bought it because she said to buy it. And then she sold all of them. And the market went way down, and she just made a ton of money off it. It was the Hawk Tua girl, actually.
Oh gosh.
She made her own chip, and because she had basically
the Tua token.
The Tua token.
Is that what it's called?
Of it, nobody knew she had the. I don't know. It was something like that. But overall, you don't know what's going to happen with these chips, so it's good to be careful. Make sure you're not investing in something that you're not super aware about. Right.
So she made a ton of money from that, right?
She did. I mean, she pumped it up. It was doing well, but because she had all of it, she had all the control over everybody else's, money. I mean, at that point, it's really just giving her money.
Hey, yeah. I'm stupid here, but does crypto have? There's a market cap for all cryptocurrencies out there, right? Or at least big ones. XRP, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Litecoin, Ethereum.
Market cap just means how much all of it is combined, right? So the market cap of a business is how much the business is worth. And that's quantified by the total number of shares times the cost of shares. It's the same thing with cryptocurrency.
So supply is limited, though, with the majority of cryptos. I know for sure Bitcoin, there's only 21 million. But a supply for Hawk is Tua token? Hawk coin? I don't know.
I'm not exactly sure how making crypto works, because I don't really understand the mining.
I want to mine some. I don't know if my
Minecraft couldn't find any Bitcoin. It was really sad.
So basically, are you telling people to invest in crypto?
I'm saying if you're going to invest in crypto, If you want a safer investment, I would opt for Bitcoin unless you understand whatever crypto that you're specifically looking at, because crypto is the only decentralized, or Bitcoin's the only decentralized crypto.
Oh, I'm really hoping my 593 Dogecoin do something, shoot to the moon. I have some other ones too, but money.
John's one problem for a second here is John loves technology. You know, he spends his time on it. Apparently, his money. John has a lot of devices.
I do.
What's up with that, bro?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
for the viewers out here, how many devices do you think is appropriate for a single person in college to have? If your answer was 5, then you'd be on John's side. If it wasn't, then
if you said phone and 1 laptop, that's good.
Okay. Thanks guys. I'm a huge fan of tech. I love all sorts of technology. It's fun. Josue, we grew up. I don't know if you knew me too well when I had my Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge, one of my favorite phones ever. And then
I think for a little bit.
It's kind of funny. The girl I was with at the time, I had that Samsung. We ended up breaking up. I got an iPhone X because I'm a huge fan of technology. I had an iPhone 6 for a little bit. And okay, this is the whole story, okay? iPhone 6, or no, my first phone was, I had an iPod, but phone, I got an iPhone 6. And then I was like, I'm going to be like strategical here. I'm going to be economical. I'm going to think I would like to have the best out there. I don't care what company. Well, if it's Chinese, we'll talk about that later. I don't care. I like American companies. I try to get stuff made in the US. Samsung's great. Korea's awesome. I hope we all know the one I'm talking about. The one below the north. I think that's the south. They make good phones. So I've liked Samsung. So I traded the iPhone 6 for a rink-a-dink Samsung, one of the lower quality ones where you drop it, the battery would fly out. So I had one of those for a while. Loved it. Geometry Dash was great. I loved APKs or whatever where you could pirate game. I'm just kidding. I didn't do any of that. I'm also just kidding. I did some of that, but I ended up buying the games. So we're okay now.
Allegedly.
But
the bottom line here is that John's raging ADHD has caused him to switch between devices and phones.
So I don't have ADHD. Okay.
Yes.
For the record. So anyways, traded. So I've been on this Verizon plan for a long time. Every 2 years I can trade the phone and or whatever. So Samsung, I switched it for a Galaxy S7 Edge. Great phone. One of my favorite phones ever. Fantastic phone. Upgraded my Clash of Clans base to like level 8 on that thing back in the day. Then I always look for the cool things because you notice, right? I like to watch the battery fly out of the phone. So that's why I got that one. And then I got the Edge because, dude, it had edges. That's kind of cool. Got the little side things. I enjoyed it. Never ended up using it. iPhone X, no home button anymore. That was kind of cool. So I got that, and I kind of think that phone for my ex-girl getting back with me, definitely just because I switched to Apple. I was totally why. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But it's probably partially a thing because I was bullied recently with the Google Pixel, so that's a little bit later. But I had the iPhone X. I got the 12 after that. Loved the 12. And then I got the 14, the red one, because I liked the red was just cool. I don't remember why I got the 12. I think I just was not caring as much about that side of tech. So anyways, got the 14, but I was missing something. And in between this, I got an iPad. Before the iPad, I had a cheap Android tablet, and then I had a Chrome tablet, and then I have an iPad. So I tried different things. Ben, and back at Boston, he convinced me on the iPad, and our buddy Frank. We know Frank, great guy. So got an iPad. You were there, Ben, for that. Got the deal. I used your Apple card for the deal.
I do remember.
So got that, right? Love that. I still have it right here. Handy dandy. Ben's actually convinced me on a lot of stuff. AirPods, game changer as well. Man. AirPods, game changer. That microphone, I bought so many different types of microphones. This is my second Yeti. That mic Josue is using, I actually got for him because I was like, I want to try a different microphone just because I want to try a different microphone. I have 2 pairs of this same headset. I don't know why.
Same, actually.
Yeah. Okay, so it's actually not just me. So I got the Google Pixel 8 I got the Google Pixel 8 temporarily, and then I got bullied to selling it, so I sold it. But I love the Pixel 8. Great phone. But the one thing that's keeping me, and now Ben convinced me to get my first MacBook Pro. It's kind of funny. I have it in my vlog, but I got the MacBook Air for a day over the summer. And then I decided, oh gosh, the Air I don't like. It's too thin, not strong enough. So I got a Pro. So I'm a little indecisive. Well, not indecisive. I make the decision quick, and then I try it. If I don't like it, I get a new one. And I have this computer. This is the computer I've used a long time. Gaming computer, records the videos, everything like that. And I also have 3 other computers back in the dorm, but 2 are rental ones, and then 1 I actually have. But I always like to have the best out there, and I like to learn about technology. So on top of all that, I love to try, except Apple software, not a big fan, except their ecosystem, but I like to stay up to date with whatever's going on. You know, the GPTs, I've used Grok, Copilot, I've used Gemini, I've used Meta's weird one they have now. Use them all because they're fun. Okay? So I don't want to hear nobody roasting me for potentially switching to a Google Pixel 9 in the future or a foldable phone. If I get a Google's this close to making the foldable phone I want, but if Apple makes a better one, I'll switch to that one, but I'm waiting for it. I'm also super broke, so I'm not buying any more tech right now.
Okay, but just to be clear, that was 6 devices you currently use.
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
My devices are Apple. And I don't think it's an issue. I'm just like capitalizing on the ecosystem.
Oh, yeah.
We've got our little watch because we've got to have an Apple Watch. Got an iPad and an Apple Pencil because I use that for class. Have to have a Mac. Got to have AirPods, right? Got to have your wireless charger that they don't sell at the Apple store anymore. Like, and obviously a phone, an Apple TV. I got a home up here. Like, I feel like, and an AirTag. But everything you need can be found at Apple.
But they're expensive. And that's why I was strayed away from Apple for a long time. So most of the purchases I made were either on sale or I always looked at Android or another option. And this isn't my first smartwatch. I bought like a cheap $60 one before this one. And it was just so much more economical. But ultimately, Apple's quality is just unmatched when it comes to mobile devices. So mobile, Apple's great. Microsoft Windows, though, hands down my favorite for PC.
No, I just didn't like using a PC. Like I used it this summer at a job. I did not love it that much. It feels good for, corporate, but personally it just doesn't feel like as homey.
That's fair.
What I like about the MacBooks is like it's easy to transport. Like this laptop that I have open right now, it's like so heavy. And the battery life is like, if I don't have the charger, it dies in like so soon. But like the MacBooks, leave the charger at home. They're light. It's way easier to carry around, and that's why I am considering maybe getting a MacBook eventually. But like, yeah, they definitely figured it out with the transportation.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a lot because of the ARM-based processors too that they use, and that's we'll talk about AI, but Copilot Plus computers, I was this close to getting one over a Mac, but I don't think the Copilot Plus was there yet because I want best or optimal for my uses and for all the things that I do. I guess I don't really need the power that I have with the technology, but I do like having the extra power. Once I think what? Yeah, Qualcomm, they made this new chip. So Copilot Plus, Microsoft is going crazy with this AI stuff. Everyone's going crazy with AI stuff. Oh my gosh, it's everywhere. I remember November, freshman year at USAFA, history presentation. This was before anyone knew what ChatGPT was. So it's not like we weren't allowed to use it or anything like that. And we didn't end up actually using it much for the assignment itself because it wasn't a big deal. But the guy I was working with was like, hey, have you checked this thing out? It's called ChatGPT. I'm like, what's this? And it was crazy. It summarized all of our history topics like that. And we were blown away. I don't remember. Do you guys remember your first time using Chat GPT?
I've actually never used it, but I remember the first time a friend of mine used it. He was like, "Yo, check this out." For one of his like accounting classes or something, it just wrote him the paper. I was like, "That's actually insane!" Like it makes sense. Like it's not weird. Like it makes sense what it's typing out. Crazy.
Yeah, Chat GPT for me, like I guess I started using it probably like 2 years ago, but like I think it's been really incredible. Like the stuff that it's taught me, like when I asked to like tell me what like a term means, like I've used it a lot for like finding resources for cases that we work on. I used it recently to build a Safari extension for Chat GPT through Xcode, and it like knocked it out of the park. Like
That's insane.
it didn't do all the work. I'll be really clear. Like there was a lot that I had to do, but like it really helped you through it. And I think that it's interesting the stance that they've taken though, like OpenAI, in terms of like they partnered with what was it? They partnered with like Bing for their AI. What's Microsoft? I don't. It's
Bing.
not Copilot.
Microsoft is Copilot, and I'll talk about that later.
AI through Bing. Their search AI. I don't know.
Copilot. It's powered by Bing. Copilot is powered by Bing.
Yeah. Well, ChatGPT like did an exclusive licensing agreement with Microsoft, which for Bing was like it's an incredible thing because they have no market share right now, and like Google Gemini especially when they started rolling it out, like they had major issues. Their initial rollout like announcement had like a factual falsity in it. So like in their demo that they were doing, it said something that was completely wrong, and like it just shows that like ChatGPT has that, like they have that market cornered, and wherever they're going is like where the innovation is going to follow.
What I will say, first off, Sway, have you used any other ones before?
Nah. But here's the thing, I'm not in school anymore. So I've never really had a necessity to really use it. And like there's other examples where like I've seen people use it for sports. It's like, explain this rule for me, and then it'll explain the rule.
Yeah.
I would just like go to Google and look it up if I need to. Like I've
Right.
never me personally, I've never necessarily thought about having it Chat GPT explain something to me. But I mean, that's just me. I don't know.
Well, have you at least, when you Google search things, you know how it has the AI overview thing now?
Yeah.
It is nice.
I've seen that.
I've been liking that. It was similar to what Google used to do, but now it's AI focused. It used to always show the headlines, but I think that was good. The school part's interesting because they very quickly, especially, I mean, a lot of schools do this, very quickly try to figure out guidelines for how they want to utilize ChatGPT because they're here, everything like that. People compare it to the calculator in a lot of ways too, and it's just like, it's here. How are we going to use it? Are we going to ban it completely? How do we find that happy medium? It doesn't make the best essays. It doesn't write the best code. We've learned that. It's going to keep getting better though, and it's getting really good since then. But my experience with it has been, I use it all. I've typed in a few search queries during the podcast. Like I specifically use Microsoft Copilot. It's my favorite because I use ChatGPT a lot. Copilot, I have a business thing with, so I get the full features, and now it's usually free for most, but it uses Bing search engine, so it gives me links and stuff, which is great. So it actually has links for me to reference, huge updates. But it's my buddy. So here at USNA, he's taking a final tomorrow, and the class, it's like a computer engineering class. It's open ChatGPT. You can use ChatGPT on all your projects and exams and everything. I've used it to study for finals, especially humanities. Like I'll usually use ChatGPT. Usually is better at explaining things than Copilot from what I've seen so far. But I'll use it to like learn topics. I haven't used it on any assignments that other than asking maybe a small question, but it's never actually helped me sufficiently solve anything. But it's getting there.
Interesting.
AI's here. It's
One of
crazy.
the like main uses I've seen commercials for is like they use it to make their emails sound more professional when they like a worker sending an email to the boss. So the email sounds more professional because of AI. Like that makes sense to me. One, because like me personally, my vocabulary is not like the most high class, you know. But I mean, it just I feel like an open like a final exam with open like you can use Chat GPT is very interesting.
It is. I don't understand at that point. If your exam is ChatGPT, why is it? why are we paying for that class if you can just get the answers? But oh gosh, the part education, that's a whole other thing too. I forgot about that. Oh man, no more school, guys. That's what that means. Nah, I'm just kidding. I don't know much about the Department of Education other than since its insurrection, to my knowledge, we've gotten weaker in terms of our global standings for education. I don't know if that matters for anybody, but to me, it's a little concerning.
I mean, things are definitely they're definitely also really different between states. I think is something that you see because a lot of those standardizations are made at the state level, right? State testing is huge because there's not a lot of national standardization. The national stuff, like when you apply to colleges, comes from the College Board. The SAT is the College Board, right? Like, so for other reasons, we kind of lack that prestige of being nationally competitive and incentives there. So that takes government intervention.
So do you think we're going to see good things or bad things out of it? Potentially. I don't think it's very likely that it's actually going to happen, but potentially be dissolved.
Dissolved?
Dissolved on the federal level.
I mean, I don't think much is happening on the federal level right now. I think it'd probably be beneficial to put more intent down from the federal level. But like, what are you gonna do like in terms of implementation for the federal level? Because the U.S. is huge.
Yeah.
It's not like a lot of these European countries that have a lot of control with a lot smaller countries.
Yeah, and you were hitting it good with the point of it's harder to track. I mean, a lot of it's a lot is on the state level. It's just the measurements are. It's so difficult when it's so different around the U.S. in terms of those rankings. So systematically, it would just be difficult to figure out. All I know is that I feel like, I mean, Ben, we're in college, right? I don't really know, at least on my end, how much actual academics I'm going to use much in my future career. I feel like I was hearing Elon Musk talk about it. I don't think it had any of thought before. It sounded like he was just brainstorming, but shortening how long we're in school, high school and middle school, elementary school, just primary, not any secondary education. I'm confused. I'm not really learning as much as I should be,
I mean, like, I think it's good to look at other countries, like especially in education. Like smaller countries, you can like standardize things. You can, make things prestigious with like a national exam or whatever. But like that you're required to take in order to go to like college in that country. But like look at like a larger company or a larger country, like China. Like
China.
Why do we think China is so prestigious? It's like they have so many people and they have a lot of really, really prestigious schools, but like the number of kids who are going to college by per capita is much lower than in the US. A lot of them don't need college educations, but it's not a very equitable solution.
Yeah.
It's
do you want to shout out a job you're applying for, Benjamin?
Yeah, I'm applying to be sorry, I had a joke and I held it in. Yeah, I'm applying to work at Doge right now, the Department of Government Efficiency, with Mr. Elon Musk and Mr. Vivek Ramaswamy, and I'm super excited about that. But it's a very prestigious application. Probably not going to happen, but
Not with that attitude.
Not with that attitude, but they also don't pay anything. They're telling people minimum 80-hour work weeks. Some crazy stuff.
Ridiculous.
And they're looking at what I think it's like April 2026. They want to get April 2026-ish. They want to get their recommendations to to Donald Trump, from Elon Musk to Donald Trump, about what he recommends those efficiencies be. So yeah, that's a really fast-paced program that they're trying to set up.
Elon Musk was the first SNL host to be on the autism spectrum.
Yeah, and you're the first host of this podcast to be on the autism spectrum.
Moving on, something a little bit more interesting that's not as intense. We got a lot of great upcoming video games to talk about, boys. I know Ben does other things with his time. I'm just kidding. Maybe he does a little bit of video games, but Josue and I, oh my gosh, we go back after high school. Super Smash Bros. All the time. Amazing game. Mario Kart. We play lots of Minecraft. We used to play Fortnite back in the day. Josue, I know you're a Twitch streamer. I know you got a YouTube channel. You do things
from time to time,
right? You've been playing Hollow Knight. You've played some other. I know you love The Last of Us, right? You got that PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 now too. What games are you looking forward to in 2025?
Okay, I actually want to kick this off with a game that actually came out yesterday.
Ooh.
Okay, Monument Valley 3. Have you guys played any Monument Valley 1 or 2?
I don't think so.
Okay, it was a mobile game, and it was all about like optical illusions and like how the triangle that doesn't make sense, where it's like the bottom connects to the side. It's like optical illusions. So you play as a character walking around these levels, and your goal is to like rotate the map and figure out how this connects to this, so you make it to the end. And for the longest time, there was like nothing about a next game, and so then Monument Valley 3 came out on Netflix. Actually,
oh wow,
they have a game section now.
Yeah,
it is downloadable in the App Store, but I was just super excited about that because I absolutely love the first 2 games, and like it's just a chill, vibey type of game. And if you guys have Netflix, you can just play it for free. So,
dude, this looks so cool.
I'm probably gonna play it tonight or tomorrow, but
you gonna stream it?
Low-key, maybe I could.
You should.
We'll see.
It looks cool, dude. This looks cool.
Yeah, I would recommend people play 1 and 2, and then obviously 3. Even though I'm just assuming it's great because the first 2 games are great.
So, what's this? Okay, so I'm a big fan of like Portal and Half-Life. A lot of those games. Why is it so difficult for people to make a trilogy for games? Have you noticed that, or is that just something I've been feeling? I usually only see with big games there never being a 3. Similar with wars. Where's World War III? I'm just kidding. We don't want that. But real talk, maybe it's just me. But the big games that I've cared about, specifically Portal 2, I want a Portal 3, and Half-Life 3, I want a Half-Life 3. Is that just me?
I think the one thing I'll say is something that Neil Druckmann said, and he's the creator of the Last of Us games.
Oh, and that one, Last of Us Part 3.
Yeah. So he's saying like he doesn't want to make a next game unless he has a compelling story to tell, right? And he recently came out saying he figured what the story out, so there is a Last of Us Part 3 coming. But I just think like for example, Portal is beloved by everybody, especially Portal 2.
Oh yeah.
And so I feel like the creators of these games, the developers, obviously like they would make an insane amount of money if they released the next game. But deep down, like that's their child. Like they want to make sure it's great. That they're not going to disappoint the fans by just giving them a third one, but like a good story, good gameplay, and everything. I mean, like also Nintendo, like there's a Donkey Kong Country Returns HD edition coming out in January, right?
Yeah.
Donkey Kong Country, great game.
Yeah,
but instead of making the next one, let's like re-release the old one, but HD with the new graphics and everything.
Nintendo, I don't know. I love them. First off, I got the Switch day one. How they never cease to amaze me with how they will re-release a game and I will still buy it. It's their games are just so fun. Smash Bros. Are the remakes. It's always the same games. I mean, if they make a Splatoon 4, I'm going to buy it day one. If they make a new Nintendo console, I'm going to buy. Well, this is assuming I have unlimited money. I probably won't end up buying it day one, but like, the new Mario and Luigi, huge fan of that. Wait, Ben, what'd you say?
We come back to the next podcast with a Nintendo console, and we'll another Nintendo console.
Yeah, exactly.
I had the Wii U. I loved the Wii U. I had a Wii, GameCube, DS, 3DS, Game Boy. They're all great. They're all great things.
I feel like it's hard to find a new original story that you can like pour all your love into. You know?
Yeah.
One of the main challenges that Naughty Dog, which is the company that made Last of Us,
right.
what they faced with part 2 of The Last of Us was deadlines. Like Sony put out a deadline and they're like, oh shoot, we got to match this deadline. And then that caused the workers to stress out and to work late hours and cause them not to want to work as efficiently anymore. I feel like there's like other factors like unwanted or unnecessary stress from the higher ups that kind of cause like these people to be like, is it really worth the time figuring out what the next story is going to be? I don't know.
And that's a good example. Zelda Breath of the Wild. I mean, that's a big example of they pushed that back. Metroid 4 that's coming out a million years from now. Like they pushed those back. I know Nintendo does a great job. Probably thanks to Shigeru Miyamoto, creator of Mario, Zelda, some other games, and Nintendo. He's all about never rushing a game. They don't have any strict adherence to deadlines. Nintendo has that philosophy of prioritizing quality over quantity and deadlines. And I really appreciate them for that. Because I know it's like Apple. I know Nintendo's going to release a good game. Just like how I know Apple's going to release a great product. So one game I'm looking forward to, I'm probably going to make a series on it, is Stalker 2. Not like stalking people. Okay. For the record, it's actually a game based all around Chernobyl. And I haven't seen any gameplay of it, honestly, but it's a game I've been meaning to play. This is a great example of a game that they delayed a while. But basically, it came out November 20th, so it's a month out now. But I remember it's on Game Pass. I don't buy... Oh, I love Game Pass, by the way. I don't like buy individual games anymore unless they're Nintendo for the most part. But came out. It's in the Chernobyl. It takes place in the exclusion zone. It's a first-person shooter, right? Immersive game, a little bit of horror elements. Open world. Every game's open world now. You gotta be. GTA 6. That's one game I might buy, by the way.
December 2026 or 2025.
Oh,
December 2025.
Hey, that's okay. They're wanting to make this good, but I'm excited for Stalker 2. Don't know a whole lot about it, but there'll be a series on the channel in the future. Ben,
what I'm excited for? Sorry,
no, you're good.
The Gamer Awards is tomorrow, and obviously that comes with a lot of who's going to win what category. But the Gamer Awards is a great opportunity for companies to announce games, release trailers.
Oh, true.
All that good stuff. So I'm excited about that. I want to see what new stuff is coming, but also like what wins Game of the Year. Yeah. It should be good.
Who do you think is going to win Game of the Year?
Honestly, don't know.
I haven't been keeping up on really any video games at all this year, except I watched a few trailers for Mario and Luigi Brothership and Stalker 2, so I have no idea. But you know who has less of an idea? Ben Jammin. I'm just kidding. Ben likes to play that snake game where you eat the apple, right?
Yeah, that and I've been getting really into 2048 lately.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, in the New York Times games, you know.
Oh,
Connections, Wordle.
yes.
What's the other one?
Strands,
Strands, yeah.
the mini crossword.
Strands, I finished in like 12 words or something. But like, yeah, the mini. Oh my god, the
mini's lit.
It's terrible.
Terrible.
Every other day.
Oh,
Yeah, it's detracted from my education. I can say that. Yeah, but there's something specific you wanted to ask an outsider to the gaming community?
Hey, I was just gonna ask, what do you think of this industry in general? Do you think gaming? This is just from somebody, you know, without that, because personally, I love video games. I think they've contributed a lot to who I am today. I think of them, you know, similar to movies. You can take a lot from movies, experiences, etc. Do you think that video games are good for the American society, or do you think that they should be restricted, similar to how some other countries may restrict games like GTA, because they might be bad influence?
You know, I don't think you should restrict games. I think it plays into like we lose a lot of productivity in games. We lose a lot of productivity with people scrolling on their For You pages. But like overall,
Instagram Reels.
Yeah, Instagram Reels, TikTok, watching movies. You know, these are things that aren't necessary to society, but you know, at the end of the day, they kind of are. We want things that are going to keep people happy, and these industries are generating money. And if people really want to play them, they should be able to play them. So I think they're good. I don't think they should be restricted, unless we want to become a dictatorship, which I'm not an advocate of, to be clear. But
fair enough.
Well, yeah. Sway, I know you don't have an anticipated game of the year, but I made a playthrough on the original, and you got to play it too on the PlayStation 5. My favorite game I have played, and I played God of War, I played Spider-Man Miles Morales, both amazing games, obviously not made this year. Yeah. And I played Astrobot.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I think they remade one recently. It looks so good. It looks Nintendo quality, if I were to say the least. And I honestly think, here's my prediction, everybody. I think Astrobot's gonna beat probably whatever Elden Ring or whatever the other games they made out there. It's gonna win. It's my prediction. The new Astrobot.
Is that similar to Geometry Dash? Or is that like a different game? Like
it's a different game, yeah.
It's like a 3D platformer. Imagine like Mario, 3D Mario kind of.
Oh.
Yeah. Unfortunately, but I respect that guess. Unfortunately, I think it's gonna be Elden Ring.
You think Elden Ring? Okay, Elden Ring was popular.
Just because like the DLC, like everyone played it. Like, I don't know. Okay. I feel like there should be a separate category for remakes and DLCs.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Elden Ring came out like not this year, but the DLC did. Therefore, it's in Game of the Year. But it's like an extension, not an actual new game.
Hey, we don't want to get political here, Sway.
That's just me. I don't know. I think Elden Ring might win.
That's fair. Honestly. Maybe Geometry Dash 2 will win, right, Ben?
I've never played Geometry Dash.
Actually?
Yeah, I've never played Geometry.
Dang.
I remember.
Dash is so fun.
I remember Clutterfunk. I have a lot of videos on private. One day we'll go through all my private YouTube videos together, and you'll get to see some crazy stuff. But I made some good Geometry Dash videos back in the day. Clutterfunk, remember that one? There's another one I remember. Jumper, classic. Classic.
Yeah.
Okay. Josue, this question's mainly for you. I know you're a Steelers fan. I want to say you guys are actually doing good this year.
We are, yeah.
And I want to say that my team, the 49ers, are potentially not even going to be in the playoffs. But, Ben, I guess, knows what the Seahawks.
Yeah, I know 4 teams. I know the Seahawks. I know the 49ers, specifically because of John.
Nice.
I know the Kansas City Chiefs, specifically because of Tay-Tay. And I know the Patriots because I'm in New England, and all of my roommates are Patriots fans.
There you go.
So my go-to is rooting against the Patriots.
Okay.
Out of spite? Out of spite or what?
Oh, yeah, out of spite. Are you kidding? It's so fun to see like them losing, and you be like...
Well, okay, now it's a little bit different. So I don't remember... This might just be me. Oh, sorry. Almighty Patrick Mahomes. Please do not strike me for this comment. But I don't remember hating the Patriots at all. I actually was a huge fan and am a huge fan of Tom Brady, other than maybe him choosing to play football and have a pretty mess season and lose his wife. But that's a whole other story.
That's a separate story.
He's greatest of all time, though. He has that title, and I really hope great almighty Patrick Mahomes doesn't take it from him. I am not a fan of the Chiefs. I do not like Fatty Mahomes. He's a great player. Like I'm saying, he's phenomenal, but I do not. And I'm a 49ers fan. That has to be the obvious reason. We lost to them twice in the Super Bowl. Really hard times. Still true. Recovering. But Josue, who do you think's going to win?
The Super Bowl?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Who's going to go? Who's going to win?
Genuinely, if the Chiefs make it, they're not going to win. Like, obviously,
almighty Patrick Mahomes, please forgive him for that statement.
Yeah, please, don't strike me. Like it would be cool to see the first team in history win 3 Super Bowls back to back to back. But they have been just barely winning all season long. Like they haven't figured it out all season. So honestly, I think it's going to be Bills versus Lions, maybe. And then Josh Allen has been playing out of his mind. So
as usual,
I'm going to give it to the Bills. As a Steelers fan, we're not doing that bad. And we're top of our division right now.
Nice.
And so, there's a good chance we can make it to this Super Bowl. But I think it's going to be Bills Lions.
Hey, you're tied with the 49ers, I think, for the most Super Bowl wins, I think.
We're tied with the Patriots.
Okay. I guess 49ers only have 5. You guys are 10 are you guys 10-3?
We are.
Wow, that's
first in the AFC
good.
North. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the 49ers. Sorry.
What did you say, Ben?
How are the Dolphins doing?
Dolphins, let me tell you.
They used to be bad. Now they're amazing. The bad team now is the Panthers.
The Dolphins right now are 6-7, and they're second in their conference.
The 49ers are 6-7. We're third in the NFC West.
Fourth, actually.
Fourth?
Yeah. Okay, so if you want the 49ers to make it to the playoffs, okay?
I do.
They need to win at least 3 of their next 4 games. All right? But it's not going to be that easy. But,
yeah, we're going against,
they could do it.
We're going against the Rams tomorrow, so I think we're at home. So that's good. We have a great Levi's is great. We have to win at home against the Rams. Big rivalry. Huge rivalry. Best rivalry in the history of rivalries for football. I'm just kidding. 49ers, Dolphins. 49ers, Dolphins. I don't know how the Dolphins are doing. Probably not too good, I hope. They're better actually than us. They're the same record, but I think they're higher in their conference. Lions, Niners, that game's going to be electric. We beat the Lions last year to go to the Super Bowl. That was a big deal. I think anyone would have been happy if the Lions won, but I'm glad the Niners still beat them. And then I think we'll beat the Cardinals.
Hey, man.
It's going to be close. I don't know if we're going to beat the Lions, but I think we can beat the the Rams and the Dolphins and the Cardinals. We'll see.
The Lions will be interesting. If the Lions players can get healthy, that would be great for them.
The Niners, we're not healthy.
Ben, for you, the Patriots have no way of going to the playoffs. So there you go.
I know. It was actually really good because I was really worried I'd have to listen to my roommates more, but
there you go. Nice.
Yeah, they're 3-10. Oh my gosh, this Bill Belichick doesn't coach anymore though, right?
No, it's been like 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys think the NFL is slightly scripted? No.
There's no way. Like, I think, okay, when the Chiefs lost to the Super Bowl against the Buccaneers, when Tom Brady came back, like, the Chiefs offense was doing nothing. Like, Patrick Mahomes was throwing the ball, and then these guys were not catching anything. It was insane. I've never seen a team of that level to make it to the Super Bowl lose so much. So it's stuff like that makes me think, like, okay, did they pay off the Chiefs because Tom Brady the GOAT, and then no one else in history has 7 Super Bowls. Like, okay, this is a good example actually. Chiefs Raiders game. The Raiders were literally gonna win the game, and then the center snapped the ball when the quarterback wasn't ready. And instead of a false start, they just gave the ball to the Chiefs. Like, that was interesting to me. But there's no way it's scripted. It can't, like.
Yeah, I don't think it's scripted, but I feel like players, they know it so well. A great example is Brett Favre. He gave some guy, forgot his name, 22 and a half sacks. I was watching this on X the other day, but 22 and a half sacks to have the record. It was like the last game in the regular season, all this stuff. He came up later. He had an interaction with the guy who was previously in it, and he's like, "You screwed me, man. You ruined it." Because the top ever, I think TJ and JJ both are ranked. It's tied for 22, so like second highest ever. But that gets you tons of stuff. I mean, you want to be a guest speaker at places, people want you to do this and that. So sometimes I feel like it might not be scripted, but I know they definitely have some chats or whatever or something where they talk. They definitely look at the records, and they're probably like, "Hey, we want a good game, but look, if it comes down, let's think about the money." And I think they think about the money sometimes.
Yeah, a great example of this is Gronk and Brady were playing for the Bucks, and Gronkowski was one catch away from $1 million bonus with like catches that season. And so during like when they weren't on offense, they were sitting on the bench. Gronk went up to Tom Brady and was like, "Hey, I'm one catch away." And Brady was like, "All right, I got you." And then literally the next play, he gets the catch, and then boom, he gets a catching bonus. Like, they're definitely. It's not all about making it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
simple as that.
Yeah,
I will say, New Orleans is the host for this year's Super Bowl. I feel like it's going to be a good time down there.
Well, what I will say is that whoever wins the Super Bowl this year has to be the 49ers, or else I'm going to be really sad. Who's winning the Super Bowl this year?
The Steelers. Realistically, the Bills, but the Steelers.
Okay. The Bills. Fair. We didn't set up the fantasy league. We should have. Ben, we'll get you involved in that next year too. Sorry about your Patriots. I'm just kidding. I guess congratulations for your Patriots.
Yeah, congrats.
I guess you're a Seahawks fan. What do you consider yourself?
I like college football better, but yeah, Seahawks.
Oh, we didn't even bring that up. We should probably save that for a separate. I know it's been a little painful for Alabama this year. I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, it's a little sensitive, but you know, I go to a non-football school, so
you mean non-football in the full sense? It doesn't have a team.
Yeah, BU, if you didn't know, guys, is undefeated in football. We don't have a team. We've never had a team. We don't claim to have a team. We're the Bryce Hall of football for colleges. So yeah.
I didn't know they never had a football team. And we'll briefly go into backgrounds at the end of this. Look, football's a big deal. We love it. Ben, TikTok. Are we banning TikTok? I'm lost right now. Also, and for the record, I'm pretty sure BU did have a football team for like 2 seconds back in the day.
Well, you said to say whatever I want to say, so that's what it is.
Hey, let's try to be factual. Hey, for the record, guys, the Ultimate podcast is designed to have ultimate takes, but it's not designed to be factually incorrect. Sometimes we're not going to have everything right, and if you need to fact check us, put it in the comments, and we'll be more than happy. We're not brainwashed politicians. We're human beings that do make mistakes, but everything I say is right. So keep that in mind. Okay, Ben, what's up?
That is John's way of living life. Everything he says is right. But is TikTok right? That's the big question right now. You know, we've seen some legislation go through that says, "Oh, we're gonna ban TikTok federally on platforms that'll go off the App Store. Nobody will be able to use it." And it got appealed. Appellate court was like, "Nah, this is valid." And you know, a lot of people are like, "You know, this is disrupting my free speech." But one of the big arguments is there are other places to do the same type of speech, you know, Instagram Reels. The other big one, which I think John could probably talk out a little bit in the abstract sense is it's a national security issue. You know, TikTok has a lot of information about everybody. You know, think about all the location that they information, not location, information they collect, and it's a national security risk with, you know, China specifically being so involved. The bill, I'm pretty sure, does caveat if there is a specific detached branch in the U.S. Where none of that information is getting back, then that would be fine under that bill. But yeah, so all we're waiting for now really is the Supreme Court to say yes or no, or not take the case at all, because that's an option. But yeah, there's a lot at play there. I know a lot of people are going to be really mad about it. I've deleted TikTok because I don't see too much utility to it, but they have a lot of our information, credit card information if you use TikTok Shop, location information if you you know, go in and make a video and you want to post, they'll probably tell you what your location is and let you tag yourself. They have your name, your email, your phone number, pretty much everything, and not to mention cookies and the stuff that you don't see directly. So
yeah, I will say briefly, it was as a joke, but my political science teacher, one of my classes back at USAF, I go to Air Force Academy. We'll talk about schools, we'll talk about backgrounds, whatever later. But we jokingly got extra credit for deleting TikTok. You can't have it on government devices either. So it is kind of something we look at pretty carefully. You also shouldn't really be going on social media much at all on government devices for the most part. Anyways, ByteDance, it's TikTok's parent company. This is from Mashable. How true are they? I don't know, but it sounds right to me. They want them to sell the platform to an American owner by January 19th. Obviously, Biden administration, they signed the bill. President Biden signed the bill, or face a ban. So we're gonna see what happens. It's up to the Supreme Court now. That's kind of what Ben was talking about. I am interested to see. I do have a little bit of fear with TikTok. I mean, in general, social media I think is and can very easily become a scary thing. I use Instagram, I use X, I have a Facebook account. You could easily find what I'm doing, where I live pretty quick because of my mom's Facebook, honestly.
That's actually facts.
I've definitely tried to minimize that a little bit more. I'll always post stuff after the fact, but my mentality to it is, and other people obviously with certain career fields and stuff like that, will have to be a lot more cognizant of it. But for me, if I'm posting something or whatever, I post it after the fact. I mean, I make YouTube videos. I'm a public person. I'm a pretty public person. And I mean, a lot of stuff I may do with government related, it might not be something that you can that I could talk about, but I'm also not some crazy undercover spy. And I think now the government's adjusting to the fact that it's here, it's alive, and social media, the internet, all that stuff. I mean, our social security numbers, oh my gosh, they're probably all over the place, probably sold. I've got notifications on. I've had security breaches, and I try to safeguard a lot of my stuff. I change passwords all the time, but I think the scariest thing comes down to money. If my bank account was hacked, I'd be really concerned. I mean, they'd probably be like, oh, whatever, you have $2, I'm gonna just leave. But when I become a billionaire, I'm just kidding. When I become a millionaire, hopefully by age 30, that's my plan. We'll talk about economics later. It'll be a little bit bigger of a deal. Thanks for that, Ben. Ben's the policy guy. We love the policy guy.
Just for the record, China, you're welcome to hack my account, pay off my credit card bills, really use it. But try not doing anything else because.
And hey, when in a future episode, we'll talk about trying to be more buddies with China where we can be. But also, I have a pessimistic outlook towards the future when it comes to our relations. Hopefully, they're okay. Up next, you guys hear about...
Real quick, sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Just real quick. Based on the research I did, which is not a lot, right? But if TikTok leaves ByteDance, obviously, it's a Chinese company, and that the TikTok algorithm is so good to like cater to whatever person's watching. I haven't been on TikTok in like a year, but like I know the For You page is literally for you. So I think if they leave ByteDance and if some other company decides to buy TikTok, I just don't know how good their algorithm is going to be to cater to each individual person, you know?
This is my For You page on X. Drain
Oh,
the swamp. It's literally Shrek and Trump. Anyways, continue. Sorry, I had to show that.
no, that was it. It's over now.
Yeah, my Instagram one is oh my goodness. What is
What is that?
And if you're wondering if John is special, that should have given you the answer.
and cats?
True.
My point stands.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, my For You page. Oh, and a little bit of football sometimes. Random like this. I love to watch football highlights. Anyways.
When they lost
NFL bad lip reading.
Oh gosh, those are funny.
Oh, yeah.
We will have some times where we will sit here. Game Awards is a great example. Josue, we'll get on here. We'll all go on a video call. We might even live stream those ones and reels or something. We'll have our reel library. We're going to have some podcasts that are literally just... I don't like the term brain rotting. I like to think of it as turning off some parts of the brain to turn on other parts of the brain that may not need to be turned on all the time. But
we could probably condense that, but I see what you're saying.
I haven't thought of a better term than brain rotting yet. But anyways, we'll have the Instagram Reel podcast, and they'll be a lot of fun. Ben, I know you've done some things in New York before. You lived there for some time. You had a great hotel while you were there, probably really far up. You could hopefully see from a bird's eye view if you were there at that hotel, which I wish I went to. I never did. The United Health CEO getting shot.
Yeah, lots of controversy there right now.
Yeah, what's going on, dude? You need to tell me the answers.
He got shot in broad daylight. Stunning. If he gets pardoned, hit me up, bro, because I'm single.
Oh yeah, you saw that? The Fox News anchor was talking about I don't forget which one, but he was saying people are trying, some girls that think he's attractive. Anyways, what kind of bicycle did he have when he rode off into the sunset or sunrise, I guess, or sun?
So he got on a bike, then like a bus, then a train, or maybe then a train, then a bus. He used public transportation to get out of there. Broad daylight. Crazy for security of NYPD, but
hey, regarding the Christmas tree, that's what SNL said.
That is what they said. But overall, I think there's that bigger issue of like, is this really how our country wants to deal with our issues? A lot of people acknowledge that there's deficiencies in the healthcare system, but I don't know. Did you guys get a chance to look at part of his manifesto at all?
No.
They released? Yeah. So he ended it by saying, basically discussion is not the solution here. Get someone to be strong enough to stand up. Yeah, and despite, what problems we might have, I really disagree with that sentiment. So I think that a lot of our stuff can be worked out through discussion, but it's kind of up to our lawmakers. It's up to our government to do a lot of that when we agree that there's an issue to fix it. But he definitely took things into his own hands.
Luigi, how good did you? Sorry, continue.
I just like this guy had an Ivy League. He graduated from Ivy League school. He's 26, right?
Sarge.
He's still young, but he had the education and like he recognized a problem a lot of people in this country like deal with, like insurance being expensive or not always helping or all this stuff. But I agree with Ben's sentiment, like taking it that far is definitely extreme for sure.
It's also consistent, like, when we saw the beginning of the Israel-Palestine conflict, not to go over there, but who was protesting. It was a lot of Ivies, right? And some of them did a better job of minimizing the PA aspect of their kids protesting. But those groups who go to Ivies tend to be more of those groups who do the stuff that really stands out. And not that all of them or most of them do that, but a large group think that it's their responsibility to do that one thing without everybody else. But very interesting.
Well, hey, I mean, it's an unfortunate thing that happened. Brian Thompson, hopefully his family's doing well and justice is served. It's tragic when these things happen, and hopefully the NYPD reacts to these types of things in a better manner in the future. It's always really difficult. I mean, we saw a couple months ago at a rally, Trump almost being assassinated, things that are just unacceptable when we're trying to change the ways in which we do things in the United States and in the world as well. Hey, on a lighter note, Christmas gifts. Christmas is coming up, and of course other holidays if you celebrate something else. Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. I don't really know many of the other ones if I'm going to be honest with you. But what I will say is, have you guys finished your Christmas shopping yet?
Haven't even started, unfortunately.
I've definitely started. I found some neat things on Amazon, a couple like funny things, and I think that's where I get most of my sentiment is like, or most of my value comes from sentiment rather than big expensive gift. At least as a college student, I know John's rolling in it, so he's probably buying everybody rollies. But I'm looking for my rollie in the mail.
Same, by the way.
Yeah. So but I don't know.
I do like to try to get gifts. It's actually funny now that I think of it. Ben, I've never gotten you a Christmas gift. Ever.
I've gotten you a Christmas gift?
You've gotten me birthday.
Yeah.
I've joined with Karina on birthday stuff. But now that I think of it, I don't think I've gotten you. I think I got you like smaller things before, and I'm a charitable person. Usually when we go out,
you genuinely you are.
I try to. Yeah. Ben's usually, not much to Ben. Ben usually makes more than me, so I'm just kidding. Has I should say. So usually it's just one for one. But
a difference
I do owe
educations.
Wait, what did you say?
So there's a difference in how much we're paying for our education. So we have to account for that.
Oh man, yeah, we'll have to talk about. Oh my goodness, that's a whole. Oh my gosh, dude, school, man. And when we talk, we all have very unique experiences when it comes to that. So it's actually really interesting. But to answer the question, what I've usually done, because I don't like getting people things that are useless. I like to get things that actually are giving value. And I've noticed it, especially for my dad, most of the gifts he gets, he just not throws away, but he just has them and never uses them. I think, and he said it himself, I've given him gifts he actually uses. Ben, I got him a Garmin Instinct 2 after talking to you about it. It was a great purchase. He still wears it, loves it. Before that, I got him a Fitbit. I buy him the sweaters he has. I get him new shoes the ones that he actually will wear. So I usually do a good job at stuff like that. But what I've noticed is if it's somebody that usually just opt for the Amazon gift card. You can never go wrong with the Amazon gift card. It's a good gift. I really
personal though, huh?
Yeah, I like to have like some personal thing. Ben, you've done it. You got me a Gymshark sweater for a present before. That thing is awesome, and you do a good job at that. Lots of clothing. You designed our I5 merch. Ben got those gifts going.
John, that's what I sent you for Christmas.
Oh.
So you got it on your birthday, which just for everybody's understanding is not very close. It's 6-ish months apart. Right?
December and March? Oh yeah, Ben probably doesn't know my birthday. Ouch. I'm just kidding.
No. When did you get the
you're right.
In the beginning of this. I was saying 6 months.
Over the summer. Yeah.
Christmas.
Over the summer, I got it. Yeah, you're right.
Well, down, honey.
I know, I'm joking. I'm joking.
And I'm waiting on the thank you note, but
ooh.
I'm just saying, John, calm down.
Anyways,
That's something that I want to start doing more, like thank you notes or thank you cards.
Yeah.
I to be honest, I've never even heard of that as a thing. Oh, there you go.
Box of thank you notes.
That's actually so smart. Like, I want to start doing that.
yeah, probably a good idea. It's really good to say thank you. What I've learned, and I know we also have different economic backgrounds, all three of us. What I've learned is that I've never quantified the gift I get someone or I receive based on like the money it costs. It's always like the utility of it. And I've usually appreciated gifts that were a lot cheaper, that were utility than random things I'm never going to use. I also haven't received very expensive gifts before. Thankfully, I wouldn't want people to buy something expensive or really anything. I don't care that much about, honestly, and I mean, it's nice to spend time with people. Josue, I know, like, obviously you're right down the street now, so we're gonna be hanging out. Ben, you're up north a little bit. I don't want to see you anyways, but I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We'll try and find some time. I know it's always hard because we have short turnarounds, but hey, for people,
my eyes from seeing your face would be great for this Christmas.
But for real, everybody out there, holidays are coming up. Hopefully you have people to spend it with. It's not always the best for everybody, but know that we wish you a very happy holidays, and
Indeed.
And I hope you enjoy some of the festivities going around in your local area. Okay. 2025 is right around
my
the corner. By the way, 2028 is my year. I've already done the calculations. But I'm just kidding. But 2025 is coming up. You're right. We have a lot of things to look forward to. The world is changing and really, really fast. Things are volatile. We don't know what's going on. The world is ending. Or is it? Maybe things will be really good. Who knows?
And that's why today's video is sponsored by NordVPN. Go check it out.
It's not sponsored by NordVPN. Use VPNs, though. We might get sponsored in the future. To end the video, though, you probably want to know a little bit about each of us on a highly classified level, so you can create our identities and sell them online. So we're going to give you some information about each of us. Very, very marketable information to sell when we're held hostage and we don't know where our family doesn't know where we are. So make sure to really write this stuff down. Okay, you guys got your notebooks out? All right, Ben, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, my name is Benjamin Coble, and I am originally from Seattle. After that, I went to high school in Atlanta, Georgia, which was pretty sick. And now,
sorry,
university. I used to go to Boston University with John here, but he transferred sadly because he was sick of me.
Not true.
True story, actually.
Not true. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, and I got a couple things going outside of school, mainly working on iFi Space, like John's shirt. With him takes up 99% of my time.
101. He means 101.
My effort. Yeah, but I have a lot of hobbies that I do. I'm a business major, so that's where all the economic financial interest comes from. But I like climbing, I like skiing. I'm just a normal dude. I love scrolling on Instagram. I don't think I have any other I have parents.
Makes sense.
That's good. Yeah. I'll leave it at that. That is good. What I will say. Oh, sorry.
I also love milk.
He does.
Milk, 2%. Like, where are you at?
Oh, it depends on the day. Do I want to be skinny and look cute, or am I going for a gym day?
Fair enough. Yeah, makes sense.
Hey, what I will say real quick, Ben, is yes, we went to BU together. I didn't leave because of him. I almost left because of him multiple times, but I actually didn't because of him. Anyways, Josue and I knew each other for a while. He's a ride or die, one of my first friends down when I arrived in the great and lovely land of Arlington, Virginia. Wakefield High School. Shout out Wakefield High School. Josue, tell us about your humble upbringing to become the great and mighty man you are today.
Tough. Yeah, I was born in Maryland, and then but my whole schooling from elementary school was in Arlington. Uh, I went to a school down in Richmond University for a little bit, but it wasn't for me, so I dropped out. And now, just trying to figure out what the life plan, what the direction is. I got a few options, but we'll see how it is. As for hobbies, volleyball, big one for me. Sports, video games. I have a movie list, by the way, which is like infinitely long, it seems. And I'm actually, I paused the movie that's on my list to do this. And when this is over, I think I'm going to finish it. So, but we're slowly like getting movies out the way. So I'm very interested in that too. But yeah, I mean, I met John. We were both freshmen in high school.
On the football field.
On the football field, exactly. Something about me. My cartilage is weak. Okay, because I had surgery on my shoulder in 2018 because of cartilage that tore. I had surgery on my knee a month ago because of cartilage that I tore in my knee playing volleyball. But my bones, my muscles are fine. So it's like, I gotta get the bone broth going,
Hey, maybe the new United Health CEO will be able to help solve some of those problems. I'm just kidding. Hey, one thing Josue forgot to say about himself is he's also into photography. He's a content creator. And
it's true.
Also, when you go hang out with him, he has the most interesting facts to always bestow upon you. He knows random things all
Let me tell you something. Can I just real quick before we get into John's background? We have a group chat, obviously. And the text John said, actually, you know what? Let me just read it.
Oh,
I'm not gonna expose you, but as this goes into this, okay. The goal is to always give people unsolicited advice that they didn't know they needed. Okay? This is what John said. So my advice for today, right? When you're making homemade hummus, all right? When you're blending up all the chickpeas and the spices and stuff, you're supposed to pour in water to help it like get mushy. Don't pour water. Don't pour. Put in ice cubes. Okay? Ice cubes, it'll make the hummus more creamy. It'll come out better. That's my advice for the day.
Huh. Hey, one thing we're going to need to keep doing, Josue, is we need to do like a Swaylo's facts. Sway facts. I don't know yet. I don't know what it's going to be called yet, but you got to keep bestowing random crap on us all the time.
Language.
I haven't even thought of that. Did I curse there?
TRAP.
Oh my goodness. Oh gosh, I just got a really scary text message about something that I'm going to be doing next semester. I'll talk a little bit about myself.
For now, though.
Oh man,
tell us about yourself, John.
Josue's ride or die, awesome guy. Also, crazy athlete. He was all-state throwing. He did a lot of that. Basically, whenever he wasn't injured, I was amazing. And then whenever he came back, whenever he was injured, I was doing pretty good in the sports land. The moment Josue gets off his crutches or whatever, so we did track and field together too, mainly field events. And you see Josue like lifting. We got into lifting a lot together. We'd push each other all the time. We were super disciplined together. And I got up. Josue was always ahead of me, and then he got injured, so I kept going. Then he came back, and then he surpassed me. Now he's injured, and I've just been here, but he keeps just going. Like it's miraculous. I got some videos. We have our Warriors Weight Room Instagram, but that's something. Anyways,
thank you, John. I appreciate that.
These two guys, we bring them here. All three of us have very unique and different backgrounds. So I grew up on the other side of the world, not world. Yeah, I grew up in Asia. I grew up in Alaska, was born in LA, Cedar Sinai. I think it's like some private Jewish, shout out Ben, hospital. And my dad was going to law school at the time. During finals, I was born. And I was there for like 3 seconds, so I don't really count myself being an LA person. I'll explain why I'm a 49ers fan later. Grew up in Alaska, went to school there. Fairbanks. Dad was military, also lived in Anchorage, then somehow found ourselves over in Arlington, Virginia after some time. So there went to part of the latter half of middle school, went to high school at Wakefield, the best high school in the nation. And then From there, applied to 800 million schools and got into maybe
It's actually such facts.
2 to 3 of them. We'll talk about Josue and I's college application experience sometime too. But applied to like 18 billion schools and got into like four of them or something. I decided to choose the most expensive one with the smallest amount of scholarship. And I don't know how it made sense, but really thankful for it because I got to meet the one and only Ben Koval from there. Oh my gosh, dude, this guy, game changer, defined my experience at the school. Unfortunately, I was too stupid to get any sort of scholarship beyond what I had. Realized all of the Alaska dividend, we get a dividend in Alaska, all that money gone instantaneously. It's like $40K. The school costs like $800 billion. I think $2 trillion now a year. It's ridiculous. Like it's the entire US debt at this point is just all from BU loans. So Ben was able to get the majority of that paid. I can't stay there anymore. Both of us did ROTC together, military. I somehow was able to get into the Air Force Academy. Ben did too. Fortunately, he decided to be too cool and stay at BU because he was what do they say at BU? Too cool? No, you're something. BU. I think it's just BU.
I say BEYOU. BU.
Yeah, there you go. Sorry. Anyways, I went there. Still there. Not there right now, but we'll be there. And hopefully we'll graduate to become hopefully something that's beneficial to the society. So that's a little bit about me. We all are at different stages in life. We all do different things in life and we all have different aspirations. So it's a cool group of people. Hopefully we'll have more, hopefully cooler and more intelligent people. Well, nobody's smarter than Ben and nobody's cooler than Josue. So hopefully people in the little mediums between those two, we'll have some of those people on. I'm just kidding. We'll have some of those people on and you guys will enjoy the series. It's indefinite. Want to say that. And it's the ultimate podcast about everything. We'll hopefully be able to explain the topics we're going to talk about at the beginning and they'll be edited throughout the YouTube video so you can click the sections in which you're interested in.
Big brain.
And that's everything for episode 1. Any parting words?
Just real quick, John said it's going to be 45 minutes, or his goal was to be 45 minutes. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I love that it's longer. But whenever John has an expectation, just know it's not going to be that at all. All right, that's my parting words. I love you though.
Hey, fair. Love you too. But we will try to meet a reasonable time. Unless we just have too good of a conversation, then we'll just keep going.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just carry on.
Nothing from Ben? Yeah, he just sucks. That's fine.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I'm excited to come back, but no, John's time management is about as long as my attention span. No, they're inversely correlated or something.
Hey, we're all busy people, but I'm sure Josue will be the first to roast the amount of ideas I've come up with that never happen.
Hey, I mean, we're all victims of that. Let's be honest.
And yeah, I think I'm like an anomaly in terms of the amount of things I say or forget. And I do not have ADHD.
There's 90 of them.
90
HDs.
There's 90 HDs?
Yeah, you said you had 80. I said you had 90.
You're right. That okay. That's where you know we need to end this.
Prove that he's slow.
Hey, U.S. government, don't worry. I don't have.
He doesn't. Yeah.
I don't. How? I don't. What are we? Anyways, have a great rest of your. I don't even know when we're going to see you next. We're going to try to do these on a bi-weekly if we can, or more frequently. It really kind of depends on when I open up this gigantic laptop we record this on and edit the video. So
fair enough.
Keep it classy.
We're going to come up with a better outro than that.